Thanks for tuning in today again, fellas. We appreciate it. And we're going to talk about a few scenarios here for the kids. So, first, we got Michael, Bluegi, Vincent, and the White Gi. So, Michael needs to get out of a bad habit where he kind of almost lets everyone get his back. That's not good. However, I always see him and he never gets choked. So, you're going to see here Michael is always look at his chin, always looking down, always looking down. So, the guy on the back never really has access to the throat. So if he doesn't have that access, then it will be really hard for him to choke. Furthermore, let's go a little bit more. Michael is always hand fighting. You can tell over here Vincent is trying to get the rear naked choke, but Mike is doing two things extremely well. One, he's keeping his jaw in, right? Two, he's hand fighting. Okay, so the opponent never gets access to the throat or the neck, or he never is able to go ahead and lock in the rear naked grip, then it's literally impossible to choke. However, Michael still shouldn't let his back being taken. One thing that I do want to point out as well, because Vince is fighting over here for the choke, there's no seatbelt. Okay, Michael doesn't realize it, but he can easily just turn into Vince, and then he'll probably end up in the close guard, which is way better than being on the back. Okay, so he doesn't realize this, but this is why I tell all these kids all the time, get a seatbelt control first, because if you don't, then you can easily just turn and then you lose the back, you end up in the close guard. We're actually going to see a match later on that this happens. Okay, so let's keep going. Michael's still hand fighting, not being able to get the choke. Also, one more point over here. If you're the guy on top, so Vince can easily step to mount. You know, all he has to do is let go of the right arm, bring his elbow back so he can have a base, and just hop into mount. Okay, he basically has one leg over already. But again, Vince doesn't realize this. But it's always an option when you have the back to go ahead and mount, especially if the opponent is trying to escape. Let's keep going. Okay, looks like that's that in the match. And okay, here we got Mazzy, White Gi, Moises, Bluegi. Okay, I want you to pay attention to the way that Mazzy is going to pull. Okay, she pulls very quickly, but we'll slow it down for you. Boom, pull. Okay, let's go back. All right, so Mazzy's gonna put her right foot on Moises' hip. Okay, it's a good call. Also, I want you to look at the left hand over here. It's gripping very hard. So as she falls, you can tell that Moises' posture is being broken already. Okay, so that look how he is right now. That's Mazzy putting her foot in the hip and pulling Moises down. Also, Mazzy's gonna throw her left leg. Watch her left leg in a second, high up on his back, which is going to break his posture even more so. So watch his posture. Look, completely broken. Okay. Even better, Mazzy was able to drag his arm across, which means now she has access to his back, and she's going to go ahead and take the back in a second. But let's go over that the whole scenario again, just normal speed, so you guys can see it. Look at Moises' posture, completely broken. Mazzy takes the back. Okay, good. She has a seatbelt now, which is good. However, she's going to go for the rear naked choke just like every kid does. And again, it's not a bad deal, but however, if you don't get the choke, you have no control of the upper body. Okay, so she's trying to sink in the choke. You can tell Moises' jaw is down, so Mazzy doesn't have that access to the neck. Okay. Moises is fighting, okay, as he tries to lock in the rear naked, and this is what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go back here. So, let's go back a little more. Okay, Mazzy tries to do the rear naked choke. Okay, she gives up on it for whatever reason. She doesn't feel like she's getting. As soon as she gives up, watch how Moises quickly just turns into her. Right there. Boom. Perfect move. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. If the opponent doesn't have a seatbelt on you, turn into him explosively. Let's keep going. Okay, so Massey, she still has the underhook. Massey doesn't realize that she can still take the back. Moises is not in a good spot over here. If Massey knows what she's doing, she can easily go to her back again. However, Moises is about to do something I've never actually seen a kid do, and I'm wondering whether he does know what he was doing or he just got lucky. Let's look at this ankle lock. Okay, so watch. Moises is about to step his right leg over Massey's foot. Massey has her feet crossed. Okay, so whenever someone has their feet crossed and you step over their foot, you can go ahead and finish a foot lock. Okay, so let's watch this. Steps, pull back, Massey has to tap. Okay, I think, I don't know, I don't know. The kid's a yellow belt, maybe he knows what he's doing, but I just don't, I've never seen that from a kid before, you know? So if he does know what he's doing, then props to him. If he got lucky, then I'll have to go ahead and explain to him why that works. But let's look at that one more time. Moises is gonna step over Massey. She let go. Massey can easily unlock her feet and take the back just by doing a hip escape. But then again, she's very, I guess she doesn't want to let go because she's scared that she's going to lose or he's going to pass. So by keeping tight, look what happens. Okay, she got ankle lock. Moises step, brings the leg back, stretches his hips forward, and he forces Massey to tap. Up next, we got Luke over here on the bottom, and I got Izzy over here on the top. Luke's very new. He's probably about a month and a half in, so he's trying to figure it out. Izzy's probably about maybe 2 months. She's 13 and she's very strong. So let's see how this one goes. Okay, Luke doesn't realize it, but he can easily throw in a scissor sweep. I don't think he's seen that sweep yet, but you know, if he brings his right leg down over the knee and then maybe like switches the grip over here, left hand will go on the lapel, right hand will go on the sleeve, he can easily get a scissor sweep, especially because he's a long kid. Okay, so long legs, watch out for the scissor sweep. Okay, I use it a lot. I'm 6'2", so I use the scissor sweep as often as I can. It's one of my favorite sweeps. Let's keep going. Okay, looks like, I don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to figure it out. That's what he's trying to do. She's not really moving. She's just being very, she's not really doing much to be offensive. Okay, 1 point, let's back it up here. Okay, I always tell even the adults, when you're in the close guard, which is not particular here, but you can probably tell this will most likely end up in the close guard. You have to put your hands on the person, okay? Because if you don't, two things can happen. They pull you by the collar, they break your posture down, now you can get choked and all that stuff. Or if they come up explosively, since you don't have your hands on the person, you can't hold them down. Now let's take a look at what happens here. Look, Izzy doesn't really have her hands on Luke's either belt or the lapel on his chest, his stomach. I don't really care, but she doesn't have her hands down here. Okay, you can also tell by her body that she's very heavy on her hips. Okay, going backwards. Okay, so of course when Luke, he comes up very explosively and pushes her back, it doesn't really take much because much of Izzy's weight is already on her hips. All right, so let's keep going here. Look, Luke is already on the way up. Izzy still doesn't have her hands on him. By now, it's too late. Okay, she's too heavy on the hips. Luke is on his way up. Luke does a really amazing job of getting his hips up high. Okay, so he's doing a sit-up sweep. This arm should technically be on the other side, but it doesn't really matter. You know, he's less than 6 weeks into his jiu-jitsu journey. But I love the fact that he got his hips all the way up, because even right now, if Izzy tries to push him, his hips are up too high. Okay, if maybe his hips were low around here, Izzy can probably push and get away with it, but he's already He's committed 100%, and Izzy's just laid on him. Okay. Then he's gonna knock her over. Boom. Ugh, I don't know about her knees, but I hope she's okay. And she lands it. Okay, so moral of the story, if you're in the top guard, always try to do a good job by keeping your hands on the person. Now, if they break your posture and you have to post on the mat, think about a hot stove, okay? You touch the stove, you know it's hot, and then you put your hand back up, okay? You do not leave your hand down on the hot stove. You get burned. In Jiu-Jitsu, you either get Kimura or you get armbar, or, you know, something bad is going to happen to you, okay? So make sure you always post and you come back right away. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you want to see more of these videos, please join our channel and let me know what other kind of videos would you like for me to share. Thank you.